The termination of our parental rights by attorney DCF attorney Summer Saladino, again, is another fraud she put on the court. She's good at pulling fraud, she and her underlings. Now, in the termination of parental rights transcript on page 22, she says, "We know the parents are in California, but they refuse to, they have been uncooperative with providing a physical address." Now, to serve process, you don't necessarily have to have a physical address, especially since it's not in the state. I mean, she goes on to say, the judge says, the man was wanting to go to California. That's page 23. Now, Ms. Saladino says, the father filed a notice of change of address for the court, but it was a P.O. box in California. He's spoken with the counselor on the phone, and I'm sure she saw the phone numbers from California. As I said, the counselor had spoken with both of them on the phone, and they acknowledged the court date and stated their intent not to come. That's a lie. So at this time, based on the publication and affidavits filed, they decided to go ahead and terminate our parental rights. Now, they're dealing with Debbie Harville. She says that we review the court files, DCF documents, psychological evaluations, and the guardian ad litem file. Now, she reviewed all these things, and yet she's going to come with some findings that you'll see that she basically did not check no files. She says that on page 28, and it's on the line, he did not do that. In other words, she's saying that, okay, no, there is no person to adopt the child. The father reported he had a brother living in Southern California who was an attorney there in Southern Florida. Sorry. He was asked to provide information about the brother. He did not do so. And Wilson Morris, the name that he gave to the family caseworker, is not listed with the Florida bar. And I have a copy, as you could see, of his bar registrations and everything. Now, she goes on to say, she knows that I was a substitute teacher in the county of Duval. He says he has not paid child support, although he did state to the court in the dependency phase that he was paying his child support directly to the mother. I was not paying it to the mother. I was giving it to the state, and they were sending it to the mom. I have a copy of it there. And they're going to say that he provided one paycheck stub to the family services. I had a whole stack of pay stubs. I was giving them. She said, "Oh, just give me one. One is enough." And then to come back saying, "Oh, I only give them one so they can't verify my employment." But I was able to get copies from in January of the year to give it to them. I got it from, I mean, I've been telling them all along, but they still kept up, so I give them copies from my 2 jobs with the county, with Kelly, and also from driving the school bus. Yeah, I provided them with employment information, as you could see. And they say that we failed to complete a child welfare case plan. Now, if you review what they have done at one of the judicial reviews of December the 13th, 05, and you will read it here. It's on the line. The father shall receive an assessment and all that. Partial compliance, non-compliance, it says, but how it's dismissed. But I have the 24 receipts that I was supposed to have, because it was a 6-month course, 24 classes. Look, the receipts are here. I was terminated after, on the 26 weeks, which I went 2 more weeks, because I know they're going to try to violate me if they know that my last day was up. If I had done that on the 24th week, I would have been problems. So I went 2 more weeks. And then when I told them, look, I'm on my last, then they decided to, put me in a hot seat and give me some pressure and terminate me and say that I had some inappropriate behavior to them. And also, they're saying that the third one here on page 7, father shall complete an age-appropriate parenting skills class with 100% attendance and demonstrate these skills during a visitation compliant. The father shall sign all releases requested by FSC compliant. The father shall obtain and maintain stable housing and employment for a period of 6 months. Partial compliant. The father is employed through Duval County School Board. Counselor has received 1 copy of his pay stubs. No further verification of his employment has been provided to the counselor. FSC does have a copy of his lease. So we have substantially complied, and they have the information about my nephew. So why did they have to terminate my parental rights? They intended from the start to take my child away and not to allow me to have her grow up with me, because they don't want her to get my smarts. And finally, the judges, Ms. Saladino says, it was a formal service, Your Honor. We filed, it wasn't a formal service. Your Honor, we filed, the thing, and then the court asked, a publication? He was shocked, because they terminated our parental rights without contacting us. So this is the height of due process violation, and they're lying and they're deceitful, because these people who are giving us the various aspects of the case plan to give us problems to the hilt, but we endured it and we substantially complied. The only thing I did not do is go to the psychiatrist, because there was no purpose. They just want to, put me into some medications thing, but everything is okay. I don't have a problem. So again, you see how they're a fraud and liars, and luckily I have the evidence. You see, it's no surprise that DCF will try to default us by not serving us process. Now, I was appealing every order that came down for the continual fraud, and instead of sending me the orders in a timely fashion, this order was stamped by them on September the 28th, 2005. And when the postman delivered it to me, it was November the 5th, 2005. So it was almost over 30 days so that I couldn't appeal this order. So this is what they do. Now, they try to insinuate that I had not attended the Batterers Intervention Program at Hubbard House, because they seem to suggest that I just registered, but then very quickly I was sort of terminated. But this document shows that I registered on April the 27th, 2004, and then they terminated me on the 3rd, the 24th, 2005 of 2005. So it was almost almost a year. It's 11 months. So that would be almost 4 to 4 classes. But why I only have 26? Sometimes I hadn't enough money, or I might reach late and they'll send me home. But they did not terminate me. So I was able to get the 24 as required. I went 2 more because I know how they operate. And so I've seen what they've done others. And so when I announced that this is my final night, then they throw me out, but I had already finished the 24, and therefore they shouldn't have terminated my parental rights, especially since we substantially complied with the case plan, and I had a qualified nephew who they are alleging that they can't find. I mean, they could find him easy in the bar. Look, his papers right there.